Greetings, my brothers and sisters, and welcome to today's telecast. And I've got a special presentation for you. As a matter of fact, it's an encore presentation backed by popular demand. We're going to talk again about the force of friendship. On last week, I brought to you 7 wonderful young ladies who have stories to tell. And it all came together in this book, The Force of Friendship. Listen, I'm glad to have all of these ladies back with me on today, and I'm going to share this space and time with you because you all are important to me. And I believe you have something that our audience wants to hear. We have back with us from Jacksonville, Florida, Andrea Johnson. We have from Chicago, Illinois, Katrina Harris Earl. From Baltimore, Maryland, where the Ravens are, we have Gloria Mayfield Banks. All the way from Raleigh, North Carolina, Natalie Prevette Jones. And from Stone Mountain, Georgia, the only mountain in Georgia, we have the one and only Nora Sharif Borden. We have over here to my left, we have Sabrina Goodwin-Mundy from Dallas, Texas, and everything is big in Dallas and in Texas. Right, and you all know Lady Chrisette Ellis, rounding out the 7 of them. Welcome back to the show on today.
Thank you for having me.
What brought you all here and what brought you all together is the force of friendship. And I want to get into this book. Yeah. Last week we talked about you all and how it came about and all of that. Let's talk about Gloria Mayfield Banks. Yeah. I can only imagine that when this idea came to you, it was very easy. You were ready to go because you have the gift of gab. I mean, you can motivate anybody. Do y'all know E.F. Hutton? That's his wife right there. Absolutely. So tell me why you jumped on this project and you were sold on it.
Well, first I was jumped on it because it was so exciting. I was really excited about what it meant. But easy? No. Writing is not easy for me. In the 7th grade, I found out I was dyslexic. So writing is not the easiest thing for me. But with these girlfriends standing next to me, you know, we have a chapter there called Courage. And it takes courage to be girlfriends with women who want the best of you all the time. And I remember writing some pieces, and I would send them out for them to take a look at because we approved each other's writings. And then, you know, words would change because of my dyslexia. And Sabrina, for instance, will call me, what are you trying to say? Like, what are you trying to say? So, you know, we're transparent with each other. We share with each other. But the stories pull out the best of us. They pull out the best of us. And that's a piece of me that I've chosen to be very transparent about because when you're transparent with your friends and they lift you up and take you to another place, you become stronger.
Yeah. All of you all are multi-level marketing success stories, yes. Which brought you all together, and you expanded beyond that to put this book together, The Force of Friendship. Sometimes I find it very difficult to find Christian women successful in their own rights that can really come together and have authentic relationships. Talk to me about that, Sabrina.
You're right, Bishop, and I feel very blessed that this relationship, this circle of friends, power, success, love, we work at being good for each other. It does take work. It doesn't come easy. You have to invest time. You have to invest effort. You have to genuinely care. And in the busy world of today, friendship is such a loose word. You know, you get on Facebook, you think you got 5,000 friends. Those people don't know you. They don't care about you. And so it's a false sense of reality. And so what this circle has been is just been amazing. Always lid lifters in my life. But you do have to put time in to grow and cultivate rich relationships.
You know, it's amazing that you use that point, Facebook, because it shows you how careless we are with words.
Right.
Because we don't know those folk. You know, but we call them friends, or they're called our friends. I heard a statement one of you all made when we were talking in the green room about authentic relationships. And I think nowadays with all the TV shows that are on, you see chaotic relationships. And the world pretty much begins to learn how to live in chaotic relationships. And you almost don't know what an authentic relationship is. Nora, talk to me about an authentic relationship.
Well, thank you. That's a great question, Bishop, because writing this book with 7 different personalities was a bit challenging. Many times I wanted to quit. I hung up on her several times and said, I'm not having this conversation with you today.
Now, hold on. In the green room, she said 7 different women. Now she's come out here before you all and said 7 different personalities. Listen, men would have had the same challenges. All right, talk to me about these personalities.
But the thing that was so unique and authentic, as you said, about friendships, is that you go away, you know, and because I said, I'm quitting. I'm done. I'm not doing this. And then clearly God said, you are doing this. So after you've had your temper tantrum, just know that you're going to write this book. And the thing that was so profound was that, or is so profound, in true friendship or authentic friendship, people just, you know, they give each other their space, and then we come back just like nothing ever happened. Sabrina will come and say, so what you doing, girl?
Okay.
No,
Because you're the one who hung up. I didn't. So what you doing?
Wait. Then she calls all of us and says, ooh,
Right.
Nora's mad. Right. What we got to do? What we got to do?
Yes, because you know what? Love covers a multitude of sin. And it just, the love that I have for these amazing women, you know, those, you know, that little challenge that we had, it just lasts. Because you know what? You process it, you process your emotions, and then you move on and you pick up. Because really, when you love somebody, you know, all of that other stuff really doesn't mean anything.
Those of you all that tuned in on last week, we're talking about the force of friendship. I believe that this is going to be a New York Times best-selling book, and I'll be happy to say that I know all of you all. I know some great authors. I want somebody to talk to me about friendship in the corporate world. Wow. Because there's so much envy, jealousy, animosity, stepping over each other, trying to make myself big by making somebody else small. But one thing I see with you all lift each other up, and you do it authentically and genuinely. Chrisette, talk to me about that.
You know, what I have found, because, you know, before I joined Mary Kay, I was working in corporate America. And, you know, I really thought, you know, that I wanted to be Miss Corporate America. But when I kind of got integrated into working in corporate America and I looked around and I saw it was a dog eat world, it was so refreshing to be in an environment where you were celebrated. And this is the thing that is just so amazing about this group of women is in corporate, there's competition, and if I tell you what I know, that might give you a heads up, and you get the promotion, and I don't get the promotion. But what's so awesome is that there is no competition. Yes, we tease each other, and we have healthy competition. You know, there's been times when, you know, we'll say, oh, I'm gonna be number one. I'm gonna beat you. No, I'm gonna beat you, and we are really, really striving to do that. But at the end of the day, if Sabrina really beat me, I am going to celebrate her and be super excited for her. There's no need to be envious and jealous, because you know what? We have learned that each of us, we have our own personal gifts and talents, and that's where we are celebrated. So I love this group of women, because when we're in their space, they always make you feel larger than life, and they always tell you you can do anything that you put your mind to.
We're talking about the force of friendship. Andrea Newman Johnson, weigh in on this subject matter of competition, because you're in a different division in the multi-level marketing corporation.
Absolutely.
So you're not really, you know, number one, number two. You're in another segment. So talk to me. How did you become so close to these ladies?
Well, you know what? We all work in a corporation that is predominantly women, like 99.9% women, and you know, so there are so many different groups of friends. And I remember years and years ago, just really watching these particular ladies and just seeing not just the friendship, but the sisterhood that they had. So it's more than friends, it's just sisterhood. And I actually, you know, God knew that I needed to be a part of these women's lives, because I got introduced to this group actually through Nora. I was going through a very, very trying time in my life, a time where I literally wanted to give up. And and I had talked to the Lord, and it seemed like, you know, everything that I wanted, my dreams and my hopes and my plans were not coming together. And God had it to me to meet Nora, and she just gave a testimony, and I just clearly heard the Lord speak to me. And through her and our relationship, she was the one who introduced me to these amazing women that are not just friends, but they're what you call sister girlfriends. Right. And so I'm just so thankful that even though we're not in the same division, we're in each other's lives. And so I just appreciate I love y'all.
I want to ask a two-point question. Sabrina, tell me about something that has rocked your world, something challenging, that has been a challenge in your life that that you had to go through, that these ladies help you to get through. And then I want Natalie to piggyback and to tell me how she never goes through anything challenging, because because she's always laughing, she's always joking, she is always the life of the party.
Right. Bishop, you know, life is big. Life is big. We all have challenges, peaks and valleys along the way. Probably my greatest challenge, lost both my parents in the last couple of years. Never thought that I'd be at this point without my mother and father. We went on we all took our mothers to Aruba as a group a few years ago. Had a blast. Now, Chrisette's mother has gone on to heaven. My mother's gone on to heaven. But we're so grateful that we had that time together, because we not only are girlfriends, but we brought our mothers together. We were in Aruba, beautiful villa, for a week, and they became girlfriends.
Right.
Now that both of my parents are gone, you know, Bishop, I am just grateful for this group. Solid as a rock. They were prayer warriors. They were right there for me. They were so comforting to say, Sabrina, it's okay to cry. It's okay. And now I know my parents are looking down, smiling upon this group at this time. I mean, to see this project come to fruition is just amazing. So we cry, but it's all good.
It is good. And I see your emotions, and that just says you wouldn't be sharing those kind of things unless these people were really and truly your friends.
Right.
We're talking about the force of friendship. All right, the one who makes us laugh until we cry. Natalie, talk to me about the importance of these ladies in your life.
Let me just say this. It's just beautiful. Even with this project, thank you again, Nora, for just being the inspiration and the heart and heartbeat behind this project with all of us. You know, it's just been wonderful. And the experiences, when we go back and talk about our trip to Aruba, and every experience they've shared, I totally remember. You know, in my life, I grew through just in the past, 15, 20 years as a single mom. And so as a single mom, I'm very protective. I have a no access zone. You know, there are so many parts of my life that the only access is through my children, my immediate family, and because I lend so much to them, that I have to make sure that I'm reserved up to handle life. And so when I get out there in the real world, I really see it nothing but as a joyful place, a place to be excited and have fun. You know, I got through a terrible divorce with my children and my family support and with my friends' support. So it's just been, I just think life is awesome. I think that when God gives us life, He really gives us everything. Right. He gives us the friends to help us handle the things that we need to handle. You know, He gives us a support system. He gives us this beautiful relationship that we have with you and your wife to open so many doors, you know, to make amazing and impossible things happen. So my laughter comes from joy because really, the joy of the Lord really is my strength. No matter how much I laugh, I know Jesus, you know, and it is so evident of the abundance and love that He has blessed me and my family with, and to be blessed with you guys is awesome friends.
Thank you, Natalie. Katrina, talk to me about how difficult it is to open yourself back up after you've been hurt, after you've been disappointed. I know people who think they have friends, only to find out sometimes people are not who you think they are. And sometimes that shuts you off for a long time. And some people can never recover and never trust or let people back in again. Talk to me about how you can overcome that and embrace a second chance or an opportunity for people to get into your circle.
Wow. I mean, I had my heart broken so many times, and I could get as emotional as Sabrina thinking about this, about how many times these women have helped me mend my broken heart. Happily married now. But for the majority of the time of our relationship over these decades, I was a single woman and praying, Lord, you know, when, Lord, when. And so they walked with me through that process of thinking I was in love and God saying no. And it just was, you know, painful, extraordinarily painful that any single woman can relate to. And I'm just so grateful for girlfriends that showed me examples of how you can be amazingly successful and have quality relationships, and it allowed me not to settle.
Sabrina, in our last segment a week ago, she talked about the basement crowd and the balcony crowd. And my wife says all the time, Lady Chrisette says to the church and to me, our kids, and everybody she comes in contact with, her family, show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. With the tremendous negative impact that we see with peer pressure. Everybody in jail is not bad. They were just hanging with the wrong crowd. They were in the wrong car. Talk to me, Nora, about how important it is to have positive peer pressure in relationships. I mean, people who will push you to do better.
You know, it's very important because those are the people that encourage you. You know, even when you feel like you can't make it. I remember I was very challenged in one part of my career, and I was calling Sabrina, said, that's it, I'm giving up. And she said, no way, what are you, silly? And, you know, she talked me through it and made me think about it. And to have these amazing women, one thing about us that's so amazing, we do not let each other play small. We play big. And we celebrate big. We celebrate each other. And so it's just a fun place to be. And, you know, I mean, we're so close. You know, Chris will call me up and said, okay, what do you think about this? What do you think we should do about this? I mean, just to be able to have that interaction with one another. Not that we need each other's approval. Well, sometimes. Yeah, but the fact that we're, the fact that we care that much and we value each other's feedback, I want to say, is good. And then the other thing, Bishop, that I've learned through these women is how to be an effective communicator. I mean, how to communicate with people. They have just, and so they are my balcony people. They are the people that take the lid off of my life. And for me, all of them have college degrees. I didn't go to college. And so in this environment, I could be very intimidated, but no, they make me feel just like I have a PhD. I mean, and that's just amazing.
She acts like it too.
Yes.
So
Smarter than everybody, all the time.
Well, I'm the money person, okay?
I am absolutely enjoying this segment, this special telecast on today. I certainly hope that you're enjoying as well. We're talking about the force of friendship. 7 successful entrepreneurs in their own rights have come together to put together this book. I believe, again, it's going to be a bestseller. The information is there on your screen. You can go on that website. You can order it. You need to have it in your library. You need to have it a part of your reading material. I want to go back to Lady Chrisette Ellis. Tell me how knowing and understanding your purpose in life helps to guide you and navigate you through so many chaotic relationships or false relationships into authentic relationships.
Wow, that's a loaded question. It's a great question. You know, in the force of friendship, when I think about all the different chapters that we have in that book, all of those chapters have come out of the different things that we have been through, the relationships that we have established. You know, there is a chapter in there that talks about your mindset. Your mindset. That probably is one of the best chapters in there because it's how a person thinks that really determines how far they're going to go in life. And really, a lot of times how we think is because of what people have said to us. Many times people it's hard for them to succeed because they were told as children that they couldn't. Or even sometimes friends being jealous, they will say to them, I don't see you doing that. Why do you think you could ever do that? And so I think that the purpose of our lives, especially in this book, is just so evident in all of the different chapters. We have a chapter in there about love, and love is so important. I mean, the love that we have for each other, even when we have disagreements, as Nora said earlier. We don't, you know how the Bible says, don't let the sun go down on your wrath. You know what? It may take 24 hours, but you better know on the 25th hour, you're going to get a phone call. So I think the book and all the different chapters in there on love and success, it really does speak, and faith and courage, it does speak to who we are collectively.
Can we talk about one of the strengths that we've had in our relationship that really points this out? You know, I think we define it really well. We have a friendship. We also have a sisterhood. And there was clearly a time that Nora and I had a disagreement. And Sabrina made us stay at, what was it, 2 o'clock in the morning,
Yes.
3 o'clock in the morning? She said,
Middle
no,
of the
you will
morning.
not go to sleep until you guys talk. I was like, really? She was like, yes, really. And she made me get up. She made Nora get up. I mean, that's the kind of friendship we're talking about here.
Yes.
So it really is a force. We have so
Yeah.
many
Right.
examples and so many stories of how we just kept coming together. We refuse to let the friendship
Right.
go. We
That's
refuse.
right.
And we fight for this friendship. Yeah,
Right.
accountability. We fight for it. And you will not go to sleep mad.
Right.
Andrea,
Well,
I
I
need
tried.
you to weigh in
Yes.
and to tell me, in this world, it seems as though a lot of strong personalities cannot get along and cohabitate. All of you all.
Right.
All of these ladies have made their own mark. I've met their husbands. They have great husbands. Husbands doing tremendous things, but they are not in the shadow of anybody. And you all know Lady Corsette is not in my shadow. She is casting her own shadow. I try to get in that shadow every now and then because it gets hot out here over on my side. But tell me, how do you all manage with all these strong personalities? And
Right.
you know, if you haven't been successful, then, you know, you want to tag on with somebody. But
Right.
all of you all are successful.
Right.
And yet you cohabitate
Yeah.
in authentic friendship.
Yeah. You know, we have a chapter in the book on leadership, and part of leadership is lifting other people. And, you know, we don't have egos. That's the great thing, is that we all have a mutual respect for one another, and we can, each of us can lift up the other, because ultimately the goal is for every single one of us to be successful. And so when we celebrate each other, when one is doing great, we celebrate and applaud her. When somebody else is not doing so great or doesn't even feel that she's doing great, we lift her. So there's no egos. We check our egos at the door, and we just work together. So yeah, we're true leaders in our own right.
We're talking about the force of friendship. Listen, I've got these beautiful women on the set with me here. People might look at this book and they see the 7 of you all, beautiful, colorful. Why would a man want to pick this book up? I want you to sell it to a man because, you know, maybe on the shelf it looks like, that's for women, that's girl stuff. Talk to me about how men need to have this book in their library and in their reading material. Gloria, you want to tackle that?
I do. You know, I want to say that what we have found, because we have such amazing husbands, and because of our relationship, they have become friends as well.
Right.
And so they value friends, and they're proud of it, and they talk about it. I think all people can get more from deeper friends, and they can all learn how to have friends and how to maintain friends and how to embrace the differences of each other. And so I think men don't really get to talk about friends as much. They don't get to experience the conversation of the depth of what it's like to have a good friend. You're either a friend or not a friend, but how to become a better friend, and that's what we're talking about. So the fact that we've seen a lot of men become friends, and the fact that we've seen our husbands become deeper friends, it's not the length of time that they're together. It's an honest friendship and a laughter and a joy that they have, and we were able to write up a lot of that in that book that they can grab from there.
Friendship, listen, it's for everybody. If
Yeah.
you're looking for authentic, true relationships, good friendships, this is the book you need to read. It will help to take you through that. The information is on your screen. We got to close out, but I want everybody. If you were looking for a good friend, somebody out there, looking at that camera, they're looking for a good friend. They've been let down, they've been disappointed. Give them some good advice.
You know what? Be the friend that you want to be. Be the friend that you want to have. That would be the thing that I would say.
Awesome. Katrina?
Ask God to put the right people in your life and expect them to show up.
Powerful. Gloria?
Have a level of expectation what you want from your friends, and don't take anything less than that.
Natalie?
Empowerment. Empowerment goes such a long way. It can leave a life of beautiful legacy for you and your family.
Nora, this is your brainchild. Talk to us about your baby.
I'd say, you know, be loyal, you know, first of all, and, you know, in your friendship. And this book, I mean, recently, Bishop, I read this book, you know, after writing it. You know, sometimes you write something and then you don't read it. And then I was laying in bed one night and I started reading. I was like, dang, this book is good. I mean, it was so inspirational. Just like Andrea said, there's so many chapters in there that everyone could take advantage of. It could be a blessing to everyone, young people, women, and even men. So it's just an awesome book, and you know, we may be a little prejudiced, but because it is our baby, but it is a wonderful book, and I suggest that you give it a shot.
All right, since Lady Chrisette is the host, I'm going to come to her last. Sabrina?
Friendship is essential to the soul. You got to have it. I don't know how people do life without it. Find you a good friend. Pray for great people in your life. It will certainly enrich your life.
Lady Chrisette?
And lastly, I would encourage all of you to take a look at your friendships. And when you think about those who you surround yourself with, just simply ask yourself a few questions. When is the last time they've celebrated you? When is the last time they've encouraged you? When is the last time they said you can do and be more than what you are? If you don't have friends like that in your life, I encourage you to find a new circle of friends so that you will know what it feels like to be a part of the force of friendship.
Listen, I'm the preacher on the set. If you're around people who are tolerating you, they are not your friends.
Right.
It would be a shame to go through life and not have true friendship. The force of friendship. The information is on the screen. Thank you, ladies.
Yeah,
you need to have it in your library. I certainly hope you will come back.
Yes.
Maybe for a third time.
Yes.
All right, we'll see about that. Thanks for being with us on today.
Thank you. Good job, you guys. Thank you, Bishop.